Most founders are not thinking big enough and they know it, but small, it feels safe to us. Small means that you don't have to send that next DM. You don't have to track your numbers. You don't have to put yourself out there in a way that risks failure. Small feels like we're being realistic. But here's what nobody tells you. That $1 million plus business, it might actually be easier than the $100,000 one that you're building right now. And it almost certainly gives you more freedom. Today, I want to show you exactly why that's true and why the size of the future that you're willing to build is a leadership problem. It is not a strategy problem. It's not a market problem or a marketing problem. It is a leadership problem. Here's what thinking too small actually looks like in practice. It means that you're not sending those DMs because what if they don't respond? It means that you're not tracking your metrics because what if those numbers confirm what you already suspect? It means that you're not raising your prices because the clients might say no. None of that is an actual strategy. All of it is based in fear and comfort. And comfort at that level, it has a cost. It just shows up slowly enough that most founders never really connect it to the choices that they're making right now. Dr. Benjamin Hardy talks about this, the idea that your future self is the blueprint for how you should actually operate today. You don't just grow into your future. You actually have to define the actions and what you're doing by that vision that you have for yourself and that place that you actually want to get to. This means that all of those decisions that you're making today, who you hire, what clients you take on, what you actually tolerate, they have to match where you actually want to go, not where you actually are. But here's the catch. You cannot operate from a future that you haven't clearly defined. Most founders are making decisions from all of those pressures that they're having today. So they're not making them from a defined destination. So that every hire, every client, every decision gets based on what's actually in front of you right now. It's not actually based off what you're actually building towards. And that's a real gap. It's not about ambition or your work ethic or even how many hours you work. It's about clarity. As I always like to say, you cannot map the journey if you don't know the destination. So what does a design destination actually look like? I call this the $1 million plus destination framework, and it goes one step further than EOS in defining your actual vision, because I don't think that vision alone can tell you the role that you actually play in it or what your numbers actually have to be. There are 4 components to this framework. It is your vision. So what does the business look like in that place? Who does it serve? What is it known for? It's about your ideal role. What's all the work that you love? What is your zone of genius? What role do you want to live in? And what do you want to hand off and get off of your plate forever? What is your dream client experience? What do you want to be known for? I always say your client experience is your real differentiator in the marketplace. So what do you want to be known for and who do you want to serve? And then what are those pesky metrics that are going to make you successful? That includes your revenue, your margins, your take-home pay, your retention, how much you can pay your team. Do you want to be top of market? And all of this has a real place in your business and in defining where it is that you want to go. This provides the complete picture of what you're building and what success looks like for every single party that touches it. That means you, your team, your clients, your family. And when that picture exists, it changes everything. And when it doesn't, well, that's when things can get super expensive. Here's what I see happen consistently when the destination has not been designed. It's really 3 things. All of them are super expensive and all of them are completely predictable once you see them. So the first one is the hire. Look, when you don't have a defined destination, when you don't know what roles you actually need to fill, what outcomes that people own, what skills are actually being required, then you just hire for relief. Someone is available. They're already in your world. You think they can do the job. You want to help them out. Or maybe you're just drowning so much, you're like, hey, they just showed up and they can do some things for me. So then you bring them in and then one of 2 things will happen. Either they don't have the right skills for what the role actually needs. So they are going to ask you questions constantly, or they're not going to move without you actually filling in the gaps, or you're going to wonder what they're doing over there on that side of the table for 20 hours a week. Or they will have the skills, but then they're actually driving the wrong results because the role was never really defined around the outcomes that you actually want to create. So they're busy, they're working, but nothing actually moves, get you to where you actually want to go. Either way, you are still the bottleneck. You're still the cap. And it wasn't really because they were necessarily a bad hire. It's because you made a hire without really knowing the destination, without really designing the role that you actually needed in your business. So we're going to go deep on how to fix this in a future video, but the root of it all starts here with knowing exactly what it is that you're building for the future. The fix isn't necessarily a better hire. It's a more well-designed role. And a designed role starts with knowing the outcomes that that person is going to own and how they're going to fit into your business. The second one is about the client. Look, when you don't have well-designed destinations or defined destinations, the second one is the client. Look, when you don't have well-defined destinations that include your client experience, when you don't know what that dream experience looks like and who you actually serve, then you just start operating from a place where you're going to take whatever comes in. So you're going to say yes to that $1,000 a month client because you need the revenue and it's going to feel like a win in the moment. But then that small MRR client, they're going to take all of your time. They're going to ask you all the questions. They're going to require all the calls. They're going to send you all the emails, and every single escalation that could possibly happen, it's all going to come to you. And it was never really because they were a bad client. It's because they weren't a right fit for what it was that you were wanting to build. It's because you never defined the engagements in your offers well enough to know that these weren't the type of people that you wanted to serve. So you just took in work that really didn't fit your business for the future that you wanted to create. And now you can't do what you actually need to do. You can't build the team. You can't focus on strategy. You can't develop more offers. You can't move towards your $1 million destinations because you are fully consumed by this client that was never going to get you there in the first place. The destination is the filter. Look, without it, you're just reacting to whoever happens to walk into your door. But the fix is super simple, and it's all in defining that dream client experience and knowing exactly who it is that you want to serve. And now consequence number 3, like this one, the third consequence is really at the intersection of those first two. And that's where you stay the bottleneck and you keep your business stuck. This is that place where your team, they slack you and ping you all day long. They have 100 questions. They don't move without asking you about what they should do and how they should handle certain things. It's where your clients consume you. Again, those low MRR clients, the ones that aren't really paying you for all the work that you're actually doing. It's where your decisions get slowed down and they're reactive instead of proactive because there's really no destination to decide from and you don't even have time to be in it. It's the place where your business can't really grow beyond you and what you can personally hold because you don't have the space to think about what that might look like. And it's not necessarily because the market's not there. It's not because you don't have people who can't perform. It's because the foundation was never built. You never clearly defined what it is that you were trying to build and what your future would look like. And all of that is a leadership problem. Look, I want to give you a little bit different definition of leadership than one you may have heard in the past. Leadership is creating a future that would not otherwise exist and fulfills or attempts to fulfill on the needs of all parties. All parties means you. It means your team. It means your clients, your family. It means everyone. And when you lead from that place, from a destination that has actually been clearly designed and actually works for everyone it touches, all those 3 consequences, they flip. You'll start to hire the right people for the right roles. You'll sign the right types of clients, and your team will start to understand what it is that you actually want to build, their role in it, and how they can move without you being involved. This is how you start to move from bottleneck to actually creator and builder of the future. I'm going to take just a moment here to share my own personal story in all of this. Veriscale is actually my third business. My second business, we built it to a multi-million-dollar global company. And when we got to that place, we realized it was not the business that we actually wanted to create. It wasn't the business that would fit into the lives that we wanted to live, like traveling in our RV. So we sold that business in 2023, and I started Veriscale from a very different place. And now I'm building for that future that I actually want to create. And this is the type of work that I do with my clients. It's the type of work that I go deep inside in my free monthly training sessions. Once a month, I do host a free live session that I call Future by Design, the third Tuesday of every month at 2 p.m. Eastern. It is for founders who are done making decisions from today's chaos, who are ready to start leading from that future that they're actually building towards. We will work on those destinations, the vision, the role, the client experience, the metrics, all of it. And we'll work on the leadership role that will actually make it all possible. It is one session once a month. It's completely free. So the link is in the description. Come ready to do the work. Okay, I want to show you what this looks like on both sides. For the founders who make it to $1 million plus with small teams, they're not superhuman people. They're real live people. But what they've done is design those destinations first. So I'm going to talk about one of my real live clients that I met in an RV park. He actually had a small business that he didn't even know if he wanted to keep. He had a team of 5 people. He wasn't sure this business actually would work for him. And after our time working together and getting clear on what he actually wanted to create in his life, he actually more than doubled his revenue in less than 6 months. He was able to take his wife to Mexico for 1 full week without checking in. And then just a few short weeks later, he took his entire family to Hawaii for 3 weeks. And again, he spent about an hour a day working in and on the business while he was away. This is the type of freedom that you can create for yourself if you get crystal clear on all of those destinations. But when you don't operate from this place, the ceiling, the cap, it's very, very real. Every decision is actually going to default to you because you're the one that knows all the answers. You're the one who really built everything, designed everything from the inside out. And so everyone is going to come to you and you're going to stay the cap that limits your growth possibilities within your business. I want to talk just a minute about the shift that has to start to happen within you to get you out of this place and into the mindset of the CEO. Look, your future doesn't just happen to you. You have to design it. You have to define those destinations. You have to get real on what it is that you actually want to create. You've got to make it visible for everyone that it's going to touch. And then you've got to start to hire towards it. You've got to sign the clients that actually fit into what it is that you're building. You've got to make decisions from this place starting today, not from a place of pressure and not from where you're at right now. That's the CEO shift. It is not about tools. It's not about systems. It's not about AI. It's not about a new hire. It's not about funnels and offers. It's about a decision to stop reacting and to start proactively designing and intentionally creating. And it all starts with getting super clear on what it is that you actually want to build and where you're actually going. If this landed for you and you want a little more access to what the numbers actually look like, I do send out a founder math email every single Thursday in my newsletter. It is the real numbers behind the real decisions. It's about what your time is actually worth, what one broken system can actually cost you. That link is in the description and it is free to subscribe. Again, I send one out every single Thursday. I also host a free monthly training called Future by Design, where we're going to actually do that destination and designation work. It happens on the third Tuesday of every single month. And again, that link is below. But if you just want access to a little bit more, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I release new videos just like this every single week, and you'll find a ton of content already in my playlist. So join me for one of my free live monthly sessions. Subscribe now, get access to a lot of the value and tips and tricks that I provide here for free. If this landed for you and you want to start to see the real numbers behind what it is that you're doing, I release a new founder math email every single Thursday in my newsletter. Look, this is real numbers behind real decisions, what your time is actually worth and what one broken system can actually cost you. That link is in the description. It is totally free to subscribe. And as I said before, if you want a little more access and you want some time to really sit in and do the work, I host a free live session on the third Tuesday of every single month at 2 p.m. Eastern. I call this Future by Design. That link is also in the subscription. Please, I would love to see you in that room. But if you want access to more content, tips, and tricks, hit that subscribe button. I do release a new video just like this every single week. I look forward to seeing you in one of the future rooms for Future by Design so we can design what it is that you actually want to build.